Alright everybody, we're back to Chicago playing the fake 1-2 that we already spoke about it. I buy in for 500, which is the max. I change seat to get a better table footage for you. Welcome to the Poker Profit channel, the first poker vlog created to help you becoming a better poker player. First hand, I'm in the big blind with King Queen offsuit, cutoff raises to 10, big blind and small blind call. I don't think the open raiser range is that strong. Button and small blinds range as well, so I'm gonna 3-bet here. I 3-bet to 65, cutoff pretends he's gonna call but folds. Button folds, small blind folds, and I win the first hand.
Just a question. Pre-flop you take Rake too? Okay.
It's important to be aware if the place you are playing take Rake or not pre-flop, because that does make a difference in the way you're gonna play pre-flop. That's why I asked the dealer. The dealer said he didn't know at the time, but then he spoke to Kirk, which is the owner, and Kirk said they don't take Rake pre-flop, so he gave me back the money he took. And I highly recommend you to be aware if they take Rake pre-flop or not, because that does change the way you play pre-flop. Now, before we go back to the content, I got a very special announcement to make. If you're watching this video before April 11, I got a gift for you. My first ebook, The Profitable Poker Player, is available now for free in the link in the description. If you're watching after this date, my ebook is still available, but now charging a ridiculous amount compared to the value you'll get in return. Inside the book, I dive into the 4 principles that every poker player must follow if he wants to achieve the best results he can in poker. I made sure to make a very objective and direct product to deliver a lot of value to you in a really fast pace. This is not a 200-page book full of fillers. Enjoy, and let's go back to the video. 1 hour of game, profiting so far $117. Next hand, I'm in the big blind again with King Jack offsuit, middle position, button and small blind limp. I'm gonna punish here. I raise to 25. Everybody folds and I win again. Next hand, I'm in the big blind with pocket sevens, cutoff, button and small blind limp. As you know, I like to build a loose image for myself, which I already did. And now with pocket sevens, it's time to use that image in my favor by raising and getting called by marginal hands from the other guys. So I raised to 27, little bigger than usual, but I want to charge them enough in case they want to call, because pocket 7 is flipping against many things, but also way ahead of other type of hands. So I raised to 27, cutoff and small blind call, so 3 players see the flop. The flop is above average for pocket 7s, Jack 6-5 rainbow. They check to me and I'm gonna c-bet here to protect my equity. I c-bet 37, only small blind calls. Turns a 3 of spades, now there are 2 spades in the board. Small blind checks to me again, and I decide to bet a third of the pot. Small blind calls, $267 in the pot going to the river. River doesn't help, a 8 of clubs. We both jack. Small blind shows King Jack and wins the hand. 1 hour and 31 minutes. We're break even now. Next hand, I'm in the hijack with King Queen offsuit. Early position raises to 10. Middle position calls. I re-raise to 40 in position.
I call him kid, Pete. Who? Him, I call him kid. Honestly, I don't mind.
He's young.
He's a young kid.
I mean, you're a sneaky, old as shit person.
That's a dealer talking to a player who they were both friends. That's why the dealer said something like that. Windy City is reopening their business in April 29. I'm gonna leave the information Kurt gave me here. Those guys were always so friendly to me, very welcoming, and I will always be grateful for what they did. And I highly recommend to check this place out if you're around Chicago area. Great people, great room, great game, and I wish these guys the best. Only middle position calls, so we're going heads up. Flop comes queen, 7, deuce with 2 clubs. I have the king of clubs. When middle position checks to me, I decide to get sneaky and check back for deception. Turn is a jack of hearts, not the best turn, because queen jack gets there, but now there are 2 flush draws in the board. He checks to me, and now I bet 35. Think I should have bet bigger here, due to the 2 flush draws in the board. He calls. River is a pretty bad one, a ace of diamonds. He checks to me, and I decide to check back.
Fuck.
Check.
I probably have you, but this ace fucking sucks.
and I win the hand. Next hand, I'm on the button with pocket sixes. Middle position raises to 11. I decide to 3-bet small here and really look to middle position's face so I can take some information from him. Doing that really works sometimes. This particular time it didn't work, but that's fine. I 3-bet to 26. Only middle position calls, so we go heads up to the flop. Flop comes 3, 4, 8 with 2 spades. That's a pretty good flop for pocket sixes. Middle position leads 15. He was a pretty weak player, which I believe I'm gonna be winning most of the times. But my hand is pretty fragile here. There are many turns that are gonna make my hand lose its strength. So I decide to re-raise him to $40 and really look at his face again. Also, this raise makes me be in control of the hand in case he calls. And that's what he does. And we see a 10 of diamonds in the turn. Out of all the over cards it could come, the 10 is one of the best. The chance of him hitting this 10 is small. He checks to me, and I decide to check back. River is a 5 of spades. That's a pretty bad card for me, because flush draw gets there. And now he bets $40. I gotta call 40 for a pot that has 175. For this call to be profitable, I gotta be right less than 20% of the times. But I really feel I won't be, especially with the sizing that he used. That seems to be value to me. If I had pocket 9s here, I would definitely call, because there will be some value hands that I would be beating. But I don't think he's gonna be betting 40 with any 5. So I have a bluff catcher here with pocket sixes, and I don't think this bluff catcher is good enough to call, so I fold, and unfortunately he doesn't show.
With the ace of spades?
Better.
Aces with the ace of spades?
I have better than ace king. That's what I assure you.
Okay, then it's king.
Next hand, I'm in the early position with ace queen offsuit. I raise to 10.
It's never
Take
friendly.
it easy.
I am friendly, man. I'm just raising.
Cut off, small blind, and big blind call, so 4 players see the flop. Flop is great. Ace 8, 3 with 2 hearts. I have the queen of hearts. The small blind, which is the same weak player from last hand, leads 15. I could either raise or call here, but as I have the queen of hearts, I decided to call this time and let him be the aggressor. Turn is a good one. Another 3. He leads $20, and now I'm gonna raise. I raise to 60, charging hands like flush draws and aces worse than mine, which there are plenty in his range. He quickly calls, and now the river is a pretty bad one, because now any flush draw got there, and now he leads $70.
At least you're a nice guy, man. I feel like every time we play, you get lucky on me.
I'm so bad. $70.
I gotta go 70 for a pot that has 260. For my call to be profitable, I gotta be right around 20% of the times, which I don't know how often will I be, but I have a pretty good hand. Unfortunately, I'm losing to all the flushes that he might have. And here I think either the call or the fold are both fine options. The main question to decide which option I'm gonna choose is how often will this guy be bluffing or betting for value with a hand that is worse than ace queen. I honestly don't know. That's a question we could ask him later on, because he is a nice guy and he was also my friend. He was in this vlog many times before. This time I decide to call and he shows a 10 high flush and wins the hand. I buy him for $100 more, losing $100 so far. Next hand, I'm in the hijack with 6-4 suited. Under the gun limps. I raise to 12 in position. Usually I'm not gonna do that, but sometimes I will. Big blind and under the gun call. 3 players see the flop. Flop comes 10, 8, 5, rainbow. Big blind leads $15. Under the gun calls. And here I'm in position. There is a club in the board. Big blind bet really small, giving me the opportunity to call more in position and see a turn. Depending on which card comes, I can either decide to bluff or I can call and the turn can come a miracle 7 of diamonds, giving me a straight. Now big blind bets $50. Big blind is Kirk, owner of Windy City. Great guy. He's one of the last people I want to make money on because he's a really great guy who deserves great things in his life. But unfortunately this time I got lucky on him. Under the gun folds and now I see his stack. He has like 180 behind. I'm between calling or shoving all in and I decide on the second option.
All in.
All in. Call.
You have a straight?
No.
I have it. I got lucky.
He quickly calls, he says he is drawing dead, river is a deuce of diamonds, and I win the hand. The table broke, I went to another one. This table seems to be pretty juicy, winning little more than $100 so far. First hand I'm dealt pocket aces, I'm in the hijack, it falls to me and I raise to 10, cut off, re-raises to $40. We're playing pretty deep, he's got more than 700 behind, everybody else folds, and here I'm definitely gonna 4-bet. The question is how much. I 4-bet to $140, think I could have done 130 here, but 140 is okay as well. He folds and I win the hand. He left the table and I changed to his seat. Unfortunately, the guy who was in my right started straddling, so I regret it, because being in the right of the straddler is way better than being in the left. Actually way better, because if he was in my left, I would be in the second best spot at the table, while if he is in my right, I'm in the single worst spot possible. In the small blind, being the first one to act before everybody in the worst position of the table. So he straddles 10, I see a pretty beautiful hand, but I'm gonna fold here, just as I'm gonna fold like 90% of my hands or more. Next and last hand of this episode, I'm on the button, early position raises to 8, 3 players call, and I see pocket 8s on the button. I 3-bet to 45, 3 players call, and 4 players see the flop. I'm in a pretty good spot here, with pocket 8s in position. Great time to hit a set, which doesn't happen, but the flop is pretty good for my hand. Now middle position leads to $60. There's no way I'm gonna fold, but also raising here, I don't think it would make a lot of sense. But I'm not a big fan of just calling, cause I'm fearful of calling and someone of the other guys check raising me, and I would have to lose $60. But out of all the options I have, I believe calling is the best one, so that's what I do. I call. All the other players fold, so we go heads up to the turn, which comes a jack of hearts, and he quickly checks. This quick check from him, in my opinion, doesn't show so much strength, so I take my time and check back.
Check.
River is a pretty good one, another jack. I'm feeling like I will be winning this hand many times. And now he leads $75. This sizing seems to be a lot of value to me, but I don't think he would check that fast if he had hit the jack. So the main hand I'm losing here is any combination with the 9, which he has many in his range. But looking at that guy, I really believe he could be bluffing quite often. Also, there is a chance he would be betting pocket 6s like a6, 6-7 maybe. So there are some value hands that I'm beating as well. I gotta call 75 for a pot that has 400. For my call to be profitable, I gotta be right like 15% of the times only. And I believe I will be right more than that. So even though while I believe most of the times I call here, I will be losing, there will be enough times that I will be winning. And that's how I advise you to think when you're behind a hero call or a hero fold, or a decision that is really close. Calculate what are the odds for you to be winning and what are the odds you need for this call to be profitable. In this case, the odds I need is little less than 16%. And in this hand, after thinking for a long time, I decide to call.
2 pair.
Which one? Yes.
Nice.
He shows a 6 and I win the last hand of the night with pocket 8s. 5 hours and 40 minutes of game, winning around $380. And now it's time to go and book another win. Again, I highly recommend you to check this place out. There are the informations of their reopening in Chicago area. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. The mission of this channel is helping you become a better poker player, and see you next time.
Enjoy your night. We'll see you tomorrow.